Hi, everybody. Hello, my name is Matthew, and welcome to the second episode of Fika with Matthew. I'm your host, Matthew, obviously, and welcome to today's Fika, I guess. This is my third time trying to film this, and first time, you just gotta ramble in a microphone for 15 minutes and get some talking in, feel it out, get the vocals warmed up. And then the second time, I realized that my microphone had died. Oops, because I'm outside right now in my backyard. I have my sunglasses on because my little blue eyes can't handle the brightness. So apologies if this is rude, but my microphone died. Sadness, because this microphone is Bluetooth. Shout out to Mayono for sending it to me. But yeah, it died because I didn't charge it. So I had to run inside and charge it real quick. But for my fika today, I'm having an apple pie. It's like a mini apple pie. I'm halfway through it because this is my third time trying to do this. But you know what? Third time's the charm. But today is July 21st, and tomorrow is July 22nd, obviously. And July 22nd marks 1 month till my flight out to Gothenburg for my master's because I fly out August 22nd. So that's crazy because, like, summer has flown by. Summer has flown by, and there's so much for me to do. I feel like before I go, like, I need to figure out what I want to bring. I want to get my teeth cleaned at the dentist. I need to still figure out how to make my biometrics appointment. I need to figure out how to get my prescription from here and be able to pick it up in Sweden. So, like, that's one thing I need to figure it out. So there's a lot for me to do, but we're going to tackle it one day at a time. So, like, thankfully I have this month left, but I've been going down memory lane from my first time in Sweden and, like, other abroad experience too, because, like, I posted, like, some YouTube videos from back then to, like, video diary, remember my time and how much I've and see how far I've come. But so I thought it'd be fun to, like, recount some old stories from my first time in Sweden. I think the first thing I want to do is let's start with my Swedish obsessions from my first time. I feel like that would be a good fun thing to do. Ease our way into this. I would say my first Swedish obsession was semla, kannabule, um, any kind of, like, bun, like a princess cake, I think what they're called, so good. Um, any kind of, like, just the baked goods in Sweden, I'm not gonna lie, they got me good. Same with Swedish candy, the goaties. Oh my god. I'm low key scared for when I go back because I have a sweet tooth. I've been working on taming it, as the years have come and gone and I've aged, I'm almost 23, not old at all, but I just love a good sweet treat. Hence my fika obsession. Love a good bun, love a good tea. Not a coffee person, hence the tea. Of course, like, I do everything in moderation, healthy living, blah 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 blah, all that good stuff. But I loved semla so much. I kid you not. Let that be shown on the record. Matthew loves semla. Um, I think the first time I had it was my first time I had it, my original homestay mom got it, and so I tried it. And I wasn't a big fan of it because I like the almonds in it. I Over time the almonds grew on me, but, like, I did not like the actual almonds. I was more of a fan of, like, the vanilla semla, just like that one. But it started an addiction, a very big worldwide addiction. I would try, like, I went, like, on, like, I tried semla everywhere. I tried it in Vetekatten. They have good semla. Went around and tried it at, like, other local Swedish bakeries. When I left Sweden, I found it in, like, the cities that I was in at the time. When I was in Budapest for, like, 2.5 months, there was a Swedish cafe right down the road from me, and I hit that up all the time to get semla and kannabule and all of my, like, Swedish bun fixes. But I'm frightened of how much semla I'm going to eat when I get back to Sweden and, like, of course when it comes into season. But I'm so excited for it. I went on a day trip to Uppsala just for Semla, basically. Of course, like I wanted to see Uppsala. Like it seemed like a cool city. It's like an hour away from Stockholm. So I'm like, that's a great day trip. I'll go up there and walk around. And I saw the sign for like Uppsala's best Semla. So I'm like, obviously I'm gonna try it. And it slapped. It slapped. I feel like when I'm in back in Sweden for my masters, I'm going to have to like when Semla season is upon us, I'm gonna have to do like a mini series where I just go and sample Semla from every place I find and get a get a get a list going. You know, I'm sure everyone would love the American showing up and ranking the Semla of what I think is best. No, I apologize. That probably wouldn't be amazing, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I love Semla. And same with goaties. Oh my god. Swedish candy is just so much better than American candy, I want to say. Obviously, I there's American candy has like a bunch of like really bad stuff in it. It's still good though, like because we have some stuff that you guys just don't have in Sweden. But I love like the Saturday like idea of like going and like picking up candy and like having like putting it in a bowl and like sweet treats. I remember I went out with some Swedes one time and I went to their apartment and they had like a bowl of like candy and stuff and like we were drinking and just like having like little like bites of candy along the way while we were pre-gaming. Like that was so fun. Like I feel like to me like a bowl of like Swedish candy like sitting out when you have people out or like you're greeting people or like whatever you're doing with people, if you're like having someone at your home, like I feel it's just so welcoming. Like I felt very welcomed with that bowl of Swedish candy when I walked in. The only thing that didn't feel welcoming was the salted licorice. I don't know what the hell is going on with that salted licorice. I don't know how you like it. To me, it's not for me. I remember I had it and I was like, I need to go spit this in the toilet. I need to like get a rag, excuse myself, and like go collect myself because I was disgusted by it. I mean, of course, it's not for everybody. There's people who love it. There's Swedes who love it. I have friends who also went study abroad in Sweden and they loved it. But it's not for me. And I apologize. I apologize, Sweden. But the thing is like we have to live in this world knowing that we're not all gonna like the same things, and I just don't like salted licorice, so I apologize. But what I do like is like the strawberry candy and like the watermelon ones, and like what is it called? Just like I love the gummy ones, the jordgubbe gummies, the jordgubbe goaties. Is that how you say it in Swedish? Maybe. I don't know. But like, you know, like the strawberry ones that I'm talking about with like the sugar on the out coating on the outside? So good. I think that's probably my favorite one. So very excited to go back and restart those semla and like Swedish candy addiction. Um, I'm thankful again that like semla doesn't start till after Christmas. Um, Probably for the best. So I have some time to adjust living there before I start indulging in that treat. But I also know it's like called like the King Killer's pastry. Maybe I could be lying, but like you're not supposed to have too many of it because like they are like very hefty. They're hefty. Like when I eat one, I'm like, damn, like I'm full. Like that's kind of my meal right there. This is also could be false information. I could be lying to everyone, but I'm pretty sure I saw someone in my comments when I was in Sweden on my TikTok saying like you're only supposed to have 14 semla a season. I don't know if that's true. That person on my comments could be lying to me, but someone said like you're only supposed to have 14 semla during semla season. Any more than that, like it's no good. So maybe I'll try and limit myself to 14. But if I do that, then how am I supposed to rank every semla that I come across at the different bakeries in Gothenburg? And if I go to Stockholm or I go travel somewhere else? My second thing that I was obsessed with in Sweden when I first was there was oh my god, they had these like mojitos in a cans, bellinis in a cans. I feel like I've been drinking less and less since graduating college, which is probably like a good thing, you know, good for your health because it's not good to drink a bunch. But when I was there, I really loved like these mojitos in can. They were so good. When I had friends come and visit me in Stockholm for a weekend because we were all abroad, I introduced them to them and they were delicious. Like you can't go wrong with those mojitos. I wish I had like a picture or a video that I could like flash on the screen for people who are watching this on YouTube, but they were just so good. So I'm so looking forward to restarting that obsession. And then like I feel like another good obsession that I should throw out that's not related to like food or beverage was walking. I love to walk there. I would go on like such long walks. I would take like the long way for a snack run. I would walk from school all the way to T Centralen and take the long way through Ostermalm and Gamlastan and then into the central city before I got into T Centralen to go home. And I'm excited to restart the long walks. I'm not looking forward to the winter. No, my first time there was dark and cold because I dropped in January. But so I'm excited to get like the ends of Swedish summer and just fall there. I hope fall's nice. I don't know actually. I'll have to investigate, but I'm excited for like those obsessions again. I feel like it'd be fun to like recount some stories from when I was in Sweden. I'm trying to think of like a good story to tell. I've been trying to tell a story of basically like how I ended up on a horse farm in Sweden, living there for like a month and a half, but that's such a long story. Like I don't know like how to properly tell it without like exposing private information because basically like I was living with like a Swedish family, not even a Swedish family, just one person because I was required to do a homestay. And this Swedish lady, we just could not like vibe. Like it was just not a good experience because I'll try to do like the 5 minute version. But basically my home university like requires us to be in a homestay when we go abroad. So I was placed with this like Swedish lady, but the thing is, I never ever saw her. So it was very uncomfortable because, like, the whole point of doing a homestay is like for the cultural immersion, build an authentic relationship, have some sort of support system while you're there, and, kind of help take care of you because these people were being paid for like groceries and just like transportation costs, just like basically to help, like, they're having someone in their house. So you have to give them some money for that, but also that money is for us too. But, basically like she was just never around. I never saw her. So it was hard to really connect with her. And because it was just the two of us and I never saw her, it felt more like a roommate situation, But since she was working all the time, I never was able to do meals with her. So I cooked for myself, which was fine. I like cooking for myself, but it's like it was kind of hard to have like a meal together just to chat about our days. So that didn't work out. So I ended up moving to a different homestay, which was a horse farm an hour away from the city. My first homestay was like 20 minutes away from T Central and like that station. This one was about like 45 minutes an hour. So it was a very different experience. Like, because I would have to take the train like 45 minutes and then I would have to like walk 15, 20 minutes to the actual farm. And the thing is, there was no lighting on the dirt road that I had to walk from the station. So it's like if I got home late, I would be walking in like the pitch blacks. Like that wasn't fun. But like it was all for the plot. But this was a definitely a different experience. It was me and another just Swedish lady on her own, but she was so sweet. Her and her horses. I grew up horseback riding a bit. Like I took lessons for a couple years. So like she would take me this like lovely Swedish lady would take me horseback riding like on the trails or at the Swedish forest and everything. And she would cook such nice meals for me and we like sit down and actually talk and do things together and have fika and she was just such a saint. She was such a saint and she made my last month and a half so positive and I think for the first like 3 months that I was like with this first homestay, like I really wasn't enjoying my time in Sweden that much, just because like the housing situation was like weighing on me so much because I felt so uncomfortable coming back because I was basically living with a stranger who like to me felt like she was just in it for the paycheck that she got each month, you know? And the second lady, she just went over the moon. Like the second Swedish lady I was living with just went over the moon to make me feel welcome and accommodated and built an authentic relationship with. So like I am excited that like even though I'm not going to be back in Stockholm, I'm going to be in Gothenburg when I go for my masters, like if I'm ever in Stockholm again, like I would love to reconnect with this second Swedish lady because she was so kind. 10 of a 10. Yeah, I feel like I want to talk about more of like my random side quest in Sweden. I once went on a wine walk in Sweden. That was fun. when I went to Sweden, it was like middle of January, and towards the end, that's when it started getting sunny. So I'm like, oh, it's sunny. Like I want to explore the city more. Like so, I put some wine in a water bottle and walked around Sweden and explored and had a wine walk. I had a blast. I had a blast. Here's a story. The organization that I went abroad through, it's called DIS. They have branches in Stockholm and Copenhagen. Obviously, I was in the Stockholm program, and they have something called a short study tour and a long study tour. A short one is just like a 3 day trip, and then a long one is like a week or so, maybe a week and a half. My long one, we went to Helsinki, Finland, and my first one, we went to Visby on Gotland. I forget what sea is under Sweden. God, I really should know that since I'm going back. But we went to Visby, and that was such a fun experience. Just because when we were there was like nobody there because Visby is like a place where it's like a summer island. I think like a bunch of Swedes go to Gotland over the summer and just like party, live it up. Like it's like a summer touristy place, I believe. But we were in Gotland with my class in like February, I want to say. So it was like not tourist season. It was empty. The weather was nice, but it was empty. But we were there to like learn about like the local economy and stuff because I was in like the econ core course. But since it was like empty, like we kind of had the whole place to ourselves. We were like, this is kind of fun. Like this is nice. We took the cruise ship there, which I've heard is like crazy in the summer, but again, it was pretty empty for us. But when we were there, I remember we did paintball as like a class bonding experience, which was crazy because it's like, ooh, nothing screams bonding in Gotland with your classmates and like shooting each other up with paintball. It was fun. Don't get me wrong. I had a blast. Our Swedish teacher joined in the fight and picked up a paintball gun and shot her students on the opposing team, which was great. Fight on, winner takes all. But it was a very like super fun trip. Remember we went out for tapas as a class, and we got to talk with a lot of like local businesses in Visby of like Swedish owners who were saying like how does like your economy like run on here, like how reliant are you on touristy season, like how does this all affect you. So that was really fun to learn about like local economy there. When I'm in Sweden, like I want to take like a Swedish class, like a proper Swedish class. I'm deep in the Duolingo grind because I think it's really good for vocab. Not great for like actual talking or pronunciation. But the thing is like if I have like a bunch of vocab, like if I know a bunch of vocabulary, like I'm gonna be able to like understand conversations. Like I may not be able to produce much, but like that will come in time, like when I immerse myself more. So I like Duolingo for the vocab, Swedish TV shows for like listening to it and understanding what they're saying, and then hopefully I'll be able to track down some Swedish people to practice with IRL. Because when I was in Stockholm, like we'd have assignments be like, oh, go talk to someone in Swedish. And like as soon as they heard like the accent, like you're not Swedish, they're like, let's do it in English. I'm working like a summer job right now to like save some extra cash for when I get there. And there were two Swedish people that came in who were visiting me or visiting Maine, which is like crazy. Like what are you doing here? Like, this is a small itty bitty touristy town. Like, I get it. Maine's beautiful, but was not expecting to see two Swedes because they were from Stockholm and lived in Ostermalm. Such a nice couple. Such a nice, cute little Swedish couple. But they were saying, like, yeah, like, you're going to have to drag the Swedish out to try and, like, practice your Swedish if you want to talk with them. So that's what I'm gonna have to do when I get there. Like, look out, Swedes. Like, when I'm ready to practice my Swedish in the real world, you're gonna have to practice with me because otherwise, I'm not gonna get any better. But that's why I want to take a class and like properly learn. Because during my first time in Stockholm, I had like a Swedish cultural and language class, and that was pretty good. It was my heart wasn't in it the first time, I would say. Like, I've never been a language person, but like now that I'm going back for like a couple years, it's like, okay, like it would be rude of me not to give the language like a proper shot to learn. So I'm gonna give it my best effort, take a class. But like my first Swedish class was like it was crazy. It was great because like we like learned a lot about culture and like the do's and don'ts and like the cultural norms and the history and all that stuff. And then the language was like fun to learn as well because like we were doing numbers and like trying to practice with each other and like I don't know. It was a good class. I have fond memories of that class because we were all like, what's happening? Like, we're all taking Swedish for one semester and maybe we'll never be touching this language again, but luckily I am touching it again. But yeah, like, I know they have like FSI, FSE, I don't know what it's called, but like Swedish for foreigners. I know they have classes like that. So maybe I'll take that class, or if the University of Gothenburg has a Swedish class that I can take, I'll take that just because I do want to properly learn. I'm going to be there for at least 2 years. It would be rude of me for the American just to show up and have everyone talk to me in English. Even though the Swedish would rather prefer you talk in English if your Swedish isn't perfect. But that's besides the point. I'll get there. I think that's kind of like the main thing of like what I'm thinking about like my time previously abroad and previously in Sweden and like how it's so much different to like this new time into Sweden. Like I really have taken a lot away from my first time in Sweden. Like, I've really tried to slow down. Like, that's a big thing in the Nordics, Sweden too. Like, slowing down, taking things one step at a time. And, like, that's all I can do. There's so much to get done, but it's all going to get done in time as long as I show up, do what I'm supposed to do. You know, if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, then that's going to cause a problem. But I just got to show up and do what I'm supposed to do. And, that's how I'm going to get back to the lands of Semla and Godis and Fika and life. It is kind of weird, like going back to Sweden and like knowing like I don't know anybody. Like I really am kind of shooting myself off into the dark here. I mean, like I've done this before. Like my first time in Sweden, I went alone. When I went to Budapest for a couple months, I went alone too. I didn't know anybody. But like it's weird because I'm like it's like feels like college all over again. Like this feels like the summer before college. Because like the summer before college, I was working like summer job at home, like I am now, saving money before going. Didn't know really anybody when I went to school. Don't really know anyone going back now. So it's like it's just gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I need to remember to keep an open mind and I think that's a problem I have. I like close myself off and be like stay focused. Not like close myself off and be like, "Oh, no, like I'm not going to do that." But like I close myself off and be like stay focused on this, this and this and this because like it is an investment to go get your masters and you know, it's expensive to live abroad for an extended period of time and especially because I'm paying for my masters, obviously it's much cheaper than the States. I don't know if you can hear the crows in the back, but obviously it's much cheaper than the States, but it's still a good chunk of change that we're paying for. And it's like 2 years that I'm not gonna go with like really any income where I could be working like a job because I do have like the internships and the background experience. So like it's another investment. But 2 years in Sweden, that's gonna be like a magical time that I'm never gonna get back, and I'm probably gonna look back at it so thankful. I'm so thankful for all the broad experiences that I have had through my education. So I'm excited to continue that. I think another thing that's like hard is like when I've been abroad in the past for like extended periods of times, like of course I've missed my family, but like this time feels a little bit different because like I'm going for such a long time and I don't know if I'm coming back for Christmas because like obviously flights are super expensive right now. No thanks to America with the oil. Sorry about that. Apologies. But flights are expensive and like I'm coming back next summer and next September for my brother's wedding. But it's like that's gonna be such a quick trip because it's right when the new school year starts and you know, so I've been really trying to spend as much time with my family as possible. And I think that's like a thing I need to remind myself because like I am frustrated in some ways that I'm home. Like I don't like being home for extended periods of time just because I like to be on the move. I like to be in like populated areas, because I definitely am like a city person, I would say in some regards. Like I have goals I want to get out of life and it's harder to achieve those goals when you're in such a small town. But it's also a good thing for me to slow down in some regards, even though I have a lot on my plate right now. But it is good to slow down in certain regards and like I golf with my grandfather once a week and I get breakfast with my grandmother and my grandfather once a week and spend time with my mother and just joy and time at home. Whenever I come home I feel like I have to like it's like a rebuilding period. Like I'm rebuilding my life for like my next adventure, you know? And this is like Sweden's gonna be a big adventure. This is gonna be a crazy 2 years. Like God, like sometimes I'm like, sorry, I'm rambling right now, but sometimes I'm just like, 2 years is such a long period, especially for these last two periods. Like since I went abroad in Stockholm, like I've been just on the move and constantly like doing things. Because I did Stockholm, and then I was in Boston for like a month and a half, and then I was like in London for a month, and then I was home for a couple weeks, and then I went to school for a semester, and then I graduated early and went to Budapest for a couple months, and then I was home, and then I went back to school for graduation, and now I'm home now for like getting ready for Sweden. So it's like I feel like I've been very much on the move, which is like not a bad thing. Like I like doing things and exploring and being around places, but it's like it's weird. It's a weird feeling and idea in general to like sit still. Like I'm gonna be sitting still in Sweden. Like I'm gonna be in Gothenburg for 2 years. Like, I want to make friends. I'm gonna build a network. I'm going to be learning like things that I'm excited to learn about. I feel like there's just so much, in a strange way, it feels like my life is just about to begin, you know? Like growing up in a small place and going to school in a small place. And then, like, yes, I have had a lot of opportunities to go abroad and be in cities, but like, those were always short. Like, they weren't like long things. Like, nothing was longer than 6 months. So I finally feel like my life is beginning in some sense. I don't know. Like, it's just a weird, weird feeling. I'm looking forward to this. Like, I really am. And like that Swedish couple I was talking to last night when they came into the restaurant I was working at, they were like, who knows? Like, maybe you'll meet someone and end up staying there, which is such a crazy thing also to think about. It's like, I could meet somebody and want to stay there, or after 2 years, like, could move somewhere else. Like I just have no idea where my life is gonna end up after the end of these 2 years. And I'm such a planner in so many ways. Like I feel like that's how I've been able to do so much so far, is because I'm a serial planner. But at the same time, I think travel makes me go with the flow more. Same with like Swedish and Nordic culture in general. Like I feel like it has taught me a lot. Like you can't plan for everything. You just have to enjoy the here and now where you are, because it's like for so much of my life I was always like, I'll be happy when I get to here, or I'll be happy when I get to here, and then here comes, and it's like, okay, well, I've gotten here, like what now? Like I guess I'll set a new goal for myself. And I think it is important to have goals in life, but it's like you just have to learn to appreciate where you are at. So who knows? Like I really don't know what this next couple years is gonna look like for me. I could, like, who knows? Like I could get there, I could hate it, I could get there, I could love it, I could get there and meet the best friends of my life, and then not be able to stay after 2 years. After the 2 years, I could be like, I want to get out of here right now, go somewhere else. Or I could end up getting a job there or meeting someone and staying there. Like, it's just, it's exciting to have this adventure in life and have this unpredictability of where you're going to end up. And I feel fortunate that this is where my life is? So this has been another ramble session. I apologize. I will really try and do better in the future. Since I only have like a month before I go to Sweden, like really it's just I've been trying to like just get consistent with like posting to this like podcast, because I do really want to have this to look back upon, to like as a video diary almost, because I think it's really important to like write down your thoughts, or just like put on a camera and like talk to it, and then like look back at it like years later. I think it's so fun to do. Been doing it for years on my own time. I have like a hidden folder of like just videos of me just talking to the camera and like recapping my life. So I'm really excited to like share that in some regards with people. Obviously, I'm a very private person. I don't want to share everything, but I'm just excited to like talk about what my life is looking like when I get to Sweden, and like so like, my family and my friends can like keep up with what's going on in my life if they want to. We'll see you soon, Sweden. Literally like a month till my flight out, and then I'm there for 2 years. Like, what? Don't know how we got here, but I'm looking forward to the unpredictability of this. I'm signing off. I'll rate the Fika. Apple pie was really sweet, but I give it a 6. She was cute. The tea, I really haven't had much of it, but I like a good Earl Grey, so you can't go wrong. So I'd probably give the Fika a 6 in general. Fika scores will definitely go up when it's Kenna Boulé and Semla that I'm eating. But right now, I'm rating the Fika like a 6. Sorry, but thank you. Signing off. Apologies for the sunglasses. I wanted to sit outside, but my little blue eyes just can't take the sun and the brightness. Peace.